right, so last night we got a pretty fair share amount of snow. It was like super duper windy and it's starting to melt off already. Chickens say what's up. But today we have an XR100 that hasn't been running for quite some time. We've just not had use to ride it too much. So Danny's getting to the age, he's on that 110 right there. We have that XR100's a little bit bigger with gears on it. This one's only like an automatic 3 gear, no clutch. You can just shift as you go, but they're having a blast in the snow. I'm gonna jump into the shop and let's go see if we can get that XR100 running. All right, so this is the XR100. It's been sitting for a long time. I'm gonna give it a few kicks. I tried it the other day, wasn't getting anything. I think one thing, it could be a combination of a few things. Could either be bad gas, probably gonna have to clean out the carb, or it's just plain and simple the spark plug. I haven't really dug into it, but I'm gonna give it. Ooh. That back. I was over here kicking it for like 10 minutes the other day and I couldn't even get it to fire up. I was playing with the spark plug, got the gas on. I feel like maybe this thing just has some old gas in it. Alright, well, I'm gonna put some seafoam, some new gas that we have laying around. It's only about an eighth of a tank full. Pump up the tires and oh yeah, she's ready. Gotta warm up. Ooh, she stinks. She smells like bad gas. That does not smell normal. So I'm gonna throw some seafoam in it. If you guys don't know already, this seafoam, put it in anything. I mean, honestly, just a little splash of it, maybe, you know, eighth of a cup or something like that. Put it in a gas tank, fill it up. This helps so much to clean out those carburetors, and especially if you have some bad gas. I use it all the time. Throw a little bit in there. Get some new gas. See what happens. All right, let's see if we can do this without spilling too much everywhere. This is new gas. There we go. She's about 3/4 full. See if we can dilute some of that bad gas with the seafoam and some fresh gas. See if we can get her to stay running for more than a little bit without having to be on the gas. It is a little chilly. We got the heat on in here, but it's only at like 55. So it's a little cold. we can't keep her running just idle. I'm gonna go hit the fan, the exhaust fan. Get some air in the tires. These guys are low. Don't want to pump these up too much. All right, well, we know the choke isn't really working very well. I wonder if it's got to do something. I'm going to grab a screwdriver, adjust the throttle a little bit. All right, here we go. All right, we got a little adjustment on the choke right here for throttle. Let this thing run for a little bit. Alright. Before we get too carried away, I'm going to check the engine oil. I feel like I'm going to go get a rag. That's not doing much either, so I'm pretty sure the carb is dirty. Let's get that sea foam going through there. Hopefully it'll clean it out for us a little bit. Oil's not too bad. It's a darker brown, but it's still not bad. Most of the time on these, you just got to make sure they're sitting up, and you just push it in and pull it out. This one doesn't say tighten to check oil. Oh yeah, we got plenty of oil. She's full. Almost seems like it's burning oil, but it doesn't smell like oil. It just smells like bad gas. Alright, I think I'm going to take it outside and go ride it for a little bit, see if it changes anything up. All right, so as you can tell, it's not running quite right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the carb off and give it a good cleaning. It's puttered and pattering. It doesn't sound like there's anything eternally in the motor awry. It just feels like the carb is probably choked. So these carburetors, they're really simple. You have an, that's the outlet and the intake. This is your air intake, and then it goes out. This is where the fuel mixture happens. This is your fuel mixture screw. That'll help adjust your throttle and stuff like that. But all I gotta do, unscrew that screw, take these two bolts off, these nuts off of here. We need to come over. This is the pitcock, so we gotta turn the fuel off. We gotta turn the fuel off. Remove this fuel line right here, because that's what's connected, or wait a minute. Yep, that's connected to the carb itself on the back side. This goes into the inlet, and we'll be able to pull that guy out. So all we need is a 10mm wrench to take those bolts off. screwdriver, and a pair of pliers. Get what you can from this side. Loosen the seat clamp up enough so that you can get her pulled off. And you got to go to the other side, take the other nut off. Take the hose off from the pitcock. Looking at it on the intake, there are a couple bolts on here. I might have to take those off. It might make it easier to pull that off there. Use your pliers to break this thing free because these lines like to get stiff. Ooh, I have to tear it up. Oh, I cracked that hose already. I need to get a different screwdriver. I already cracked the hose on here. It's old. All right, I got that hose clamp off. Or not the hose clamp, but the hose going to the carb with the screwdriver. Looks like the boys are gonna make their way in. It's starting to snow a little bit. Is it cold? Little. It's a little chilly. So this hose where that clamp was, all you gotta do, pull that thing back, get that off of there, hold this out of the way, oops, hold this out of the way, and then pull that guy back. All right, so I just wiggled the choke itself out. Now it's connected up here. I just gotta unscrew that. This is your throttle control, so it's just a real long pin that sits inside of there. That's your throttle right there. So I'm going to take this over to the bench. This is your floats in here. This is where it holds the gas. So I'm going to take this drain. It's missing that. Oh, you know what? The hose broke off there. I was going to say we're missing something. This is how old and brittle this stuff gets if you don't ride it very often. So I'm going to plan on replacing all these hoses on here, clean it up, put it back in, and hopefully we're good to go. All right, so we're at the table for us to get started here. Just need a Phillips, and we got, looks like on this one we got 3 screws. We're gonna have a little residual gas in here, so be ready to clean up some of that stuff. That is yellow gas. That is old. Clean up some of that later. Okay. They're going to be pretty tight. Make sure you have the right size screwdriver. I got 3 screws holding this guy on. Worst case scenario, you have to buy a new one. You can buy these carbs off Amazon for pretty cheap. So if we can't get her cleaned up good enough, we're probably gonna be stuck getting one off Amazon. Let's see if we can get this guy apart. There we go. There's usually a gasket in here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's too bad. It's definitely dry. We got little bits and pieces. On the inside of here, it's all yellow. All of that has just oxidized. Okay, so this is one of the jets in here. This is for your air fuel mixture, and that's just fell out. So I have a feeling our issue, gotta be careful, there's a couple pins in here that hold these floats. These are the floats that, you know, if there's not enough gas, it lets all the gas in. It sits like that, and then it floats up. And then that allows the gas to stop. That just sits on there like that. No cover. Okay. So one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to examine each and every single one of these. They have some very teeny tiny holes can kind of see through. But if any of those get clogged, that'll just kind of ruins your whole day. So make sure it's nice and dry. I'm gonna get a couple, and there's a hole right down in the middle. Probably can't see that, but if that's clogged, I'm gonna go get a little piece of wire to kind of start cleaning some of these up. There's this one. You got a couple others. This is your main jet, your pilot, and then I can't remember what the other one's called, but this one's one of your main ones. So let's get cleaning. And a lot of times on these chokes, or on these carburetors, you do got to be careful because they're turned into a certain way. So how this one was threaded in there, I can guarantee you this is why this wasn't running very well. This thing's supposed to be screwed in there all the way, and all I did was turn it over and this just popped out. So that's probably our culprit right there. I'm gonna have to get some new hose and clean this up. All right, so what I'm doing, I got a wire brush. Pull out one of these wires and you can kind of start cleaning off all the little holes and stuff. I already kind of went through this one, but I'll show you. Get her to go right through there. Make sure she's nice and clean. You got 4 on there and then 1 right down the middle. Let's see if we can see through that. So this one's getting a lot cleaner. You can almost barely see a little hole through there. When I started, you weren't able to see anything through there. Take this one off. Oh, I need a flathead screwdriver. Pull that guy out. All right, so I just got this big one out of the bottom. It's got a bunch of holes on the side as well. I need to go ahead and clean those out. I can see through the middle of this one. See that little tiny hole? But I'm still gonna clean it. You can soak these if you have something overnight, loosen everything up. And we're just gonna go ahead. That one pushed out some stuff. Cool. That one seems pretty clean. Okay, screw that all. That one goes all the way back in. Yeah, and if you're at different altitudes, you got to get a new one of those and a new one of these guys. And this one down here, this is like your little valve or a throttle adjustment as well. So this one, you do need to pay attention. You got to see how many turns you got to turn to move it in. So this one is 1.5 turns. So it was a half turn and then 1 full, or maybe it was 2 turns. 2 turns to back it out. That's your adjustment. So we're gonna take it all the way out, just check it. It is very gunky and oily feeling. Oh yeah. So on the tip of that, we got some gunk on the side there. That is hard. Feels like it's from that gasket. From the inside, which is very possible. There's a little spring in there. And there's a little teeny tiny hole in there. Well, that spring's not gonna come out. So we're just gonna leave that. I'm gonna go get some carb cleaner. I'm gonna soak this guy real quick. And I'm gonna take this carb over to the sink and give it a few good blasts to try to help wash it out. One thing with carb cleaner, it does not like plastic, so you do need to be careful. If you do get these hoses soaked in carb cleaner, it will dry them out super duper quick. But I'm putting this guy back together. This is how the choke works. So the choke is on at the moment, or I'm sorry, the choke is off. It closes the baffle. You turn the choke on and it opens your airflow all the way. It's just, I mean, it's super simple. It's just this little toggle right here that controls that. So do you need to make sure that that flows freely. That is not moving very well. I'm gonna go ahead and try to clean that up. All right, so everything is nice and dry. I put the screws back in. This one I turned out 2 times. We can adjust it after because it does stick out. Gonna put the cap back on here. And then that's your overflow. There's a little pin in there, that's your overflow. Put that back on. Screw her back up, get some new hoses, and we're good to go. These carbs are super simple. All right, I got that tightened back on. I know I said it's super simple, but if this starts leaking around here, we'll just have to get a new gasket to put on there. She's old. I wouldn't be surprised if we have to. All right, got a thing of new hose here. Gonna go ahead and measure the length. Get a razor blade. All you gotta do, just get a razor blade and cut that. This is the new one. This is the old one. This is the new one. Put our little hose clamp on there. So it should be good to go. This is the other side, the Pitcock side. We'll put this hose clamp on here just to make it easy. And then all the other hose is this bottom one here. This one seems to be fine. This one's still soft, and I bet it's been changed at one point in time. So I need a little plier. See how that one broke off there? Pull that off. That stuff just gets super brittle. And then I think this one. Yeah. I think that'll do. It's a little tiny hose. This is just your overflow. That does not fit on there very well. But I bet once I get it stretched over, this fitting, that clamps on there really loose on the hose itself. I bet. Yep, it'll tighten up once we get her on the fitting there. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna cut that. That one's gotta go down a little ways. I'm gonna cut it a little long for now. It's exactly what these guys are used for. I'm gonna cut it a little long, so I know it's gotta fit down and around. That actually might be good enough, but I'll cut it a little shorter if I have to. So now it's time, take her back to the bike, get her filled up with gas, and turn the gas on and see if we have a little bit better results. So let's go. So this is our throttle cable. This is the first thing that's gonna have to go on. There's a little notch in here. It's gotta fit all the way in there. Sometimes you just gotta twist it around, make sure it's in the right spot. Push that spring down. Oops. Tight till she bottoms out. This hose, that long hose, I'm gonna send her back down by the shock. And now we just gotta do everything in reverse here. This is that one that hangs down from the bottom of the bike, so if you end up tipping over or whatever, that's what leaks out gas. All right, so that back hose, it takes a little finessing. I had to loosen up this screw all the way on that hose clamp. That tightened back up. All right, so that hose, it actually doesn't go around the carb. It's actually on that side. I'm not sure what I was thinking. But you gotta bring that back over here. All right, now we need to just put these 2 nuts on the back. This is where it holds the carburetor onto the motor itself. Make sure those are nice and tight. You don't want air leaking through there. There's a gasket in there. It looked good. If I had a gasket kit, I'd probably go ahead and do the whole gasket change, but I don't. this one back on this guy right here. Sweet. Okay. Tools out of the way. Let's turn the gas on, choke on. I'm going to turn the gas on. So give her a couple things of gas. I'm going to turn the choke on. It's not smoking. That's a good thing. Turn the choke to half. That choke is working very well. I think there needs to be a spring on it. Well, it's not smoking. I need to adjust the throttle. Make sure she's getting enough gas. Screw on this side, it's pretty touchy. See how she's revving pretty good? If I loosen it, she'll come down a little bit. Loosen a little more, like I'm doing just baby turns. There you go. That's probably a good idle right there. I think we're in business. She's not smoking, so for sure she was gunked up. And I think she's good to go. Our next project, I'm gonna let that run for a minute. Our next project, we got this TTR, this 90, and the pit cock has gone bad because it just leaks like a sieve out of here. So it's not, oh, it's coming right out of the face of the pitcock here. Every time you move the bike, it starts moving. So there's a gasket on the inside that needs to be changed. I ordered one off of Amazon. It should be here actually today. So that's gonna be the next project. So give us a thumbs up, like, hit the notification bell, and you won't miss that one. You gotta take the tank off, turn it upside down. Don't have to deal with the carburetor, but just gotta take all the parts off. Replace it, put the new tank back, or the tank back on there with the new pitcock. Hopefully she's good to go too. So I'm stoked that this thing's up and running. That makes me feel really good. So time to go ride. Good. Sweet. And I'm also gonna teach Danny how to ride this bike. Like I said, it's got a clutch and it's got a few gears. I think it's 4 gears, 5 gears. So I'm gonna teach Danny how to ride with a clutch. This will be super fun. So stick around. Let's go.